To come into the courtroom. Let's take a look at what Rachel Gentel's testimony means for this case. CNN's legal analyst Sonny is live in Sanford, Florida, and with me here in Atlanta is Paige Pate, a criminal defense attorney. Welcome to both of you.
Morning.
Good morning. And Paige, as a defense attorney, because we've seen that Rachel is becoming combative during questioning by defense attorneys. As a defense attorney, what special challenges does that present?
Well, it does present challenges. You don't want to beat up a witness who is essentially a 19-year-old girl. But I anticipate that the jury expects that she's going to come in there already biased towards Trayvon. She's a friend of Trayvon's. So what I think you do as a defense lawyer, don't keep her up there for another 2-3 hours. Just hit the key points, show that she's biased, show that she's been inconsistent in her earlier testimony and statements, and then just back off and let the jury take that testimony along with all the other evidence and render, hopefully, a just decision.
There are inconsistencies in her story, though, Paige. Number one, she lied about her age to Trayvon Martin's parents. She told them she was 16, at least I think so. She also lied about the reason she didn't attend Trayvon Martin's funeral. She said she was at the hospital, but she wasn't. In testimony, she said, well, she just didn't want to see the body. Oh, the testimony has begun. All right, let's listen again. You two stand by. Thank you. In the Twitterverse and online page is that when the defense attorney asked Rachel, because supposedly Trayvon Martin called George Zimmerman a creepy-ass cracker, and he asked her if she thought that was a racially offensive term, and she said no. Now, the Twitterverse is lit up saying, you got to be kidding, because that obviously is. Why is that important?
I don't know that it is ultimately important. Obviously, this witness does not like this lawyer. She does not like being cross-examined. She does not like being questioned. But I think at the end of the day, the jury's going to sift through her testimony. They're going to focus on the small inconsistencies, and there have been some, but they're also going to focus on the big inconsistencies, like not saying that Trayvon said, get off, get off. I think that's critical, and I think it's going to hurt her credibility.
Point. The defense attorney asked her about that. Let's listen.
Are you okay this morning?
Yeah.
You seem so different than yesterday. I'm just checking. Did someone talk with you? Yes. Did someone talk with you last night about your demeanor in court yesterday?
No, I went to sleep.
So, Paige, as a defense attorney, did you wince?
I did, and I think at that point Mr. West did the right thing and just leave that issue alone and go into the substance of what she actually said. And I agree a little bit with Sonny here. I think you can do this too much. I think at some point the defense has to say, look, we've pointed out the inconsistencies, now it's time to back off and not continue to confront this witness, or she will become a sympathetic witness.
So, of course, the defense is trying to blow holes in her story, saying that she's changed her story several times, but she's been on the stand for such a long period of time, not only this morning, but yesterday, too. Paige Pate, this jury is full of moms. What do you think they're thinking right now? Because, after all, this is a teenager on the stand.
Right. I think we always have to keep in the back of our minds that the makeup of this jury is critical, and that's always true in a criminal case. There are going to be some jurors who are going to side with this witness, who are going to believe the story that the Martin family is telling, and they're going to want to give her the benefit of the doubt. They're going to defend her when the defense attacks her. So I think by having moms on the jury, that's important. The racial makeup of the jury, that's important, and those things are critical in almost any criminal defense matter.
Well, you talking Americans would take this one way, and perhaps white America would take it another way. So, Paige, you're a member of white America. I'll put you on the spot. If you were on that jury, how would you take that? Would it even matter?
Well, I certainly don't want to put myself in that position, but there are a lot of people who, depending upon their background, are going to have a hard time relating to this witness's testimony. And I think what the defense is trying to do is to show to the jury that she's biased and that everyone on that side of this issue has already assumed this was a racial matter, and they're injecting race into the case. It's dangerous. Obviously, it's real important now as to how the jury is receiving this information. We're not going to know that until we see a verdict.
Why do you say it's dangerous?
Because whenever you start talking about race in the middle of a criminal trial, you're going to upset some folks, and you're going to offend possibly some jurors. So you don't want to go too far with that. You want the jury in their own minds to come to their own conclusions as to whether this was racially motivated or not. You don't want to tell them.